Hello everyone and welcome to today's session. We are going to be doing some bullet journaling, but before we go ahead and get started on our demonstration for today, let's go ahead and go over some of the materials we'll be using. So the supplies that I have may vary from the ones that you have, just because I love art, so I have a variety of tools at my disposal. But the basic items you'll need is a pencil, an eraser, a ruler if you have it, as well as colored pens. So from your left on my right, I have an example of my previous bullet journal that I not completed, but started. I also have a variety of compasses and rulers. I have my colored markers as well. I prefer to use 0.3 millimeter pens. It's entirely your preference what color and size you want to use. Of course, I have my architect's ruler, have a variety of erasers in front of me, as well as my mechanical pencil. I started on a journal not too long ago for this demonstration, so this is what we'll be working on as well. I also have Xeroxed a few example sheets. So I have some blank sheets in front of me as well as a couple of examples. We do have limited supplies for bullet journals, but if you request a bullet journal through our online request form, you'll get one of these bullet journals in a variety of different colors, as well as our marker set. So be sure to get yours as soon as possible because, like I said, I do have limited supplies. Some of the examples I'm going to be showing you in one of my previous bullet journals I found on Pinterest. If you just go to Pinterest and type in bullet journal, or even go to Google, MSN, Yahoo, and click bullet journal examples, you'll find plenty of examples. But I appropriated or borrowed this design. I did my Hogwarts profile. I am a Ravenclaw, so I did the Hogwarts house, the Ilvermorny house, which is located in America, and of course my details. I also did a nice page for feel-good music, so this is all the music that really jams my soul. I did a movie review, So I did little film strips, and I rated the movies overall on a 5-star scale. As you probably can see, but probably can't see because of the yellow, but most of the movies are roughly about 4 to 5 stars. This page is incomplete, but these are the books to read or books I've read. So my bookshelf is a little bit empty, but I promise you I've read more books than this. And you can also keep track of a variety of other things. My bullet journal in particular, I decided to go ahead and do kind of a monthly and a weekly calendar. So this is my overall month for the month of May. I drew individually all these flowers, the bees, the trail lines, the leaves, everything on this page I drew myself. And then I kept track of all my bills, when I get paid, major holidays, events for the library. And then I also went into weekly details. So you can see I decorated it with leaves here and there. Then I decided to switch it up for the month of June. So skipping forward, I have a different layout for the month of June, kind of a nice summer theme. And my weekly calendar is going to be different compared to May. So it's entirely up to you what you would like to do. You can do a savings jar, you can do a daily water intake, just to keep track of how much water you drink on a daily basis, Netflix TV shows or Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever streaming services you provide, to keep track of what seasons you watch. But let's go ahead and get started on our demonstration. So putting this aside, I went ahead and Xeroxed a few sheets of the bullet journal so that way we can actually get started and not necessarily do it in the journal. So I like to start out with a pencil. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me because I have to do this upside down with you. But if take the savings jar for example. So I Xeroxed both the left and right hand side of the journal. So I don't know if you can tell, but there is a line divider here in the middle. And what I'm going to do is do a rough outline of a jar. I personally like to keep a border around the page itself. So I'm going to go about 3 spaces in and draw the side of the jar and kind of shape the bottom as well. And because I am an artist by trade, I can always just refine some of these, but if you're not into arts or are having a tough time trying to get your layouts correct, you're more than welcome to do the trace technique, which is getting a white sheet of paper and trace the images you want. You can also get tracing paper if you want, but my designs are going to be a little rough. We'll go ahead and refine it a little bit later. So there we have it, a nice big jar. And then what I like to do is get my colored pens, and depending on which pen I want, let's say that I want this jar to be blue. Actually, before we get started on that, what I like to do is very lightly erase some of the lines on the paper and then go in with the color. And you can always practice this ahead of time, so that way you don't make a mistake in your journal. So this is the beginning of my savings jar. I know you can do this online, but you just make little tick marks on your jar. And let's just say that these tick marks represent $100. So you're going to start with 1, then go to 2, 3, until however much savings you want. So this is X amount of dollars. So this is the start of a savings jar. If you want, a savings jar could be an emergency fund, or a trip somewhere. I know we can't really do any trips right now, but this could be a future trips fund when it's safe to do so. So now that we have our savings jar done, we can also do a water intake. So let's see. Again, using my pencil, I'm going to go ahead and sketch out what I want. Just probably too big. So in this design, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I am measuring out 3 lines for every letter and roughly 5 lines from top to bottom. And then I'm also skipping a space in between each letter, so that way they're approximately the same height and width. And then my second word is going to be slightly less, because they're only going to be about 3 spaces high and 1 space in the middle. Okay, so I sprout out water intake, and then you can put your days of the week along one side, and let's just say that you want at least, depending on your body size and height, you want to consume an appropriate amount of water. For me in particular, because I'm about 6 foot, about roughly 215 pounds, I believe my correct water intake is roughly 8 cups of water a day. So in order to measure that, I would put the days of the week, so starting with Monday, and then what I would do is put little raindrops to signify 1 cup of water. 6, 7, 8. And then for every single day, I would just put all these raindrops, water droplets, all the way down. So actually, I would move Monday right here. And every time I drink a cup of water, or at the end of the day, I would color in that water droplet with blue, for example. And then just keep doing that for how many spaces you have. If you want to keep track of it on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, you can totally do that. So we did a savings jar, water intake. In order to do a weekly calendar, if you would like, I did do an example. I showed you an example, but let's go ahead and do an example. So about 5 spots down, you're going to draw a line across the entire page. You're going to write the month on the top. So if I wanted to do this for July, I would, not July, January. It's kind of hard to write upside down. And then I'm gonna So I put January on the top, I put week 1, and then we're going to start out with the first week. Divided the page roughly about halfway, and then so here's day 1, day 2, and I'm alternating the days. So I'm alternating back and forth, so that way I can write the top portion, every other line on top, then every other line on the bottom. I said it's kind of hard to do this upside down. And then you just write the days of the week on the top and bottom portion. So this is the example I was showing you. And then you would just go back in with black or whatever color you would like to do the outlines and just fill it all in. And then you can keep track of whatever you have on a weekly basis. So this again is bullet journal. You're more than welcome to do whatever you like. Explore different layouts, different themes. Pinterest is really great for this. All you have to do is just type in bullet journal examples and it'll give you everything that you would like. Before we leave, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we do have some supply kits available, and you're going to get yourself a bullet journal as well as some pens. You will also need a pencil, an eraser, and a ruler if you would like. Again, these are just very few examples, so you're more than welcome to do whatever you want. Thank you very much for hanging out with me this Saturday afternoon. I hope you enjoy some bullet journaling. I know I briefly went over some of that you can actually get one of the bullet journals through our online requests. You're more than welcome to buy it from Amazon, Hobby Lobby, or even Walmart if they have some. Remember, it's entirely up to you what you would like to do in your bullet journal. But if you have some pretty cool ideas or concepts that you would like to show off, please send it to us and then we'll be able to share it on our platform too as well. Thank you again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.